I know our first topic was about women. Maybe you should have come earlier. Anyway, good morning. It's still the conversation.
I think I should greet.
Okay, I think we should start with Joy this morning.
I'm pissed, but it's okay. Good morning, I am Joy Olu.
Why are you pissed?
What I went through this morning.
What did you go through?
How can they be doing stop and search on a highway?
Who asked you to be living outside Lagos in Ogun State?
Today, I felt like,
you felt like
I should be living in Lagos.
If Jibola was here today, he would have taken it lightly.
I saw an ambulance in traffic.
In traffic, school children.
What if there was someone who was...
Right. What if there was an emergency? Thank God there was no emergency. I'm here now. I'm back to the conversation.
Thank you.
Well, enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay. Today on the conversation, we are joined by the Director General of the Lagos State Public Service Staff Development Center, Adekumilola Adil Moses, as a center celebrates its 30th anniversary of remarkable growth and development. Over the years, the PSSDC has remained pivotal in training and empowering public servants in Lagos State. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. It's really lovely to be here.
It's nice to have you. Let's begin this way. Can we have, or can you share with us, PSSDC, what they do, how it was created, everything we need to know about PSSDC for now?
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here and to speak with your lovely viewers. Good morning.
Yes, it's still morning.
To all the viewers out there. So my name is Kumi Adio Moses and DJ PSSDC, and we are the establishment set up by Lagos State government to make sure that public servants, especially from grade levels 12 and below, are trained to have the requisite knowledge, skill, and competence, emotionally and otherwise, to be able to deliver the kind of services that the good people of Lagos State and visitors to Lagos expect of Lagos, which is excellence, nothing short of.
Okay. Governor Sanwo-Olu, according to some of the things I read about your celebration, Governor Sanwo-Olu is set to commission several projects at the center. Could you tell us more about this project?
Yes, thank you very much. So we are 30 years old, and it's 30 years of a long journey. But we are glad to say that we are standing on very, very broad, tall shoulders. We've had a wonderful set of leaders over the years. And those leaders include our dear governor himself, who has been at the forefront of the transformation that PSSDC has gone through in recent years, even before he became governor. He had been in different capacities in the public service, part of which was when he was commissioner for establishments and training. And that was the period when major transformation came through for PSSDC. And he has since then, even in various other capacities, continued to support what the vision and the mission is for training of public servants. And we are proud to be able to say that today we have several projects that he's going to be commissioning in the premises. These include our virtual learning management software, which we call EcoLearn. That's to help to create virtual access to training programs, and also gives us opportunity, because we have a robust platform, so it gives opportunity for other people, other organizations, both public and private, to also host their own content on our platform. So we're looking forward to that. That's going to transform our training system in PSSDC. In addition to that, we built our own digital studio so that we can convert our courses into digital content that can be uploaded onto the platform. And as you know, when you have a digital studio, there's almost no limit to the other things you can do with it. You can even start your own radio station. You can
Start your own TV.
you can start your, you know, and all of that. So we have very, very talented staff in our midst in PSSDC who have put this together. You know, very resourceful ladies and gentlemen in PSSDC that have put together the digital studio, and we're going to be working closely with Ministry of Information and the sub-agencies to make sure that we maximize what we can use, the various options that we can use that space for. Addition to that, we converted a whole block of classrooms, 9 classrooms, into a computer-based test facility. So with 300 computers, laptops, and so on. So what that gives us is the ability to provide for a batch of 300 at a go, the type of computer-based tests that people do these days, either for promotion or for recruitment or even for professional examinations and so on. So we are talking to the big organizations that deal with large number of people, WAEC, JAM, Scholarship Board, Exams Board, you know.
Private organizations.
Private organizations as well, to be able to make use of our facility. It's open there, and you know the premises is a very serene environment. Have you been there?
Yes,
Yes.
I have been there.
It is a beautiful environment.
Yeah.
Just picture IITA and just ×2, you know, and you have a good idea of just how lovely the landscape is, just how lovely the environment is, and in addition, how lovely the people are, the service that we deliver. We've added some more to that. We've now built a recreation center, a sports hub, and that is a multi-sports facility. So we have a lovely green, lush green football field, natural grass. We have
Using natural gas.
because it's
We said
expensive
natural gas,
to maintain natural grass. We have volleyball courts, basketball courts, badminton courts, table tennis. We have a lawn tennis court.
Who are the people that will be using this?
Oh, it's open for public servants, and then we're going to create a subscription program for the community to be able to,
Have
you know,
access.
the families in the
So
community.
they can also have
so
access.
They can also have
and then you
access.
can also
We're
generate revenue.
Yes, we need to generate revenue. We look forward to the time when we will stop collecting subvention from government and actually start giving back to government. That is the mandate that the governor has given us to achieve. So we are working very closely towards that goal. We've also done some other things. So he's going to also be launching our Toastmasters Club. So Toastmasters...
If you are not spoken about, I would have mentioned it because that is what resonates with us here.
Oh,
the language,
yes.
programs, and Toastmasters Club. Yeah.
Yes. So our Toastmasters Club, Toastmasters is an international organization. It turned 100 years this year. It's based, started in the USA, and it's basically an organization set up to help people to improve their public speaking, their speaking ability, to improve the way they communicate, to be able to have constructive communication, and then to improve their leadership skills. So you would agree with me that communication is 75% of any assignment that you need to do. Once you get communication right, you're good as done. You know, there's no crisis you want to have that cannot be contained or dealt with once you have effective communication. And the important thing is making your communication in a constructive manner, so you can correct somebody in a way that the person would receive it, with thanks, and those are some of the things we need to learn. So even when you are providing excellent service, you must be able to communicate to the public effectively about the service that you are delivering And if there are issues, you must be able to address those issues in a constructive manner. So that is one thing that we have put in place so we can continue to help public servants. And of course, the public can also join our Toastmasters Club.
Okay, you're still talking about these language programs. You said the language classes will be in French, Mandarin, and Yoruba.
Yes,
Why did you come up with this language?
That's a different thing. So now our library, we have a really big library, and we want to increase the functionality in the space. So we are planning to introduce language classes. And we want that to, maybe that will be a weekend thing so that people in the community and people generally can make out time to come and brush up their language skills. It's a global village out there, and we can't afford to be to not be multilingual. So what are the major languages that you want to work with? You're talking about French, because we are surrounded with Francophone countries. We're talking about Spanish and Mandarin, because it is an emerging market for the whole world. And very importantly, Yoruba, because the House of Assembly took time to create that, is it on Thursdays?
Dedicate Thursdays to speaking Yoruba.
So we have to take cue from our organs. When they show attention in one direction, we have to make sure that we support that. So we are trying to make sure that we provide Yoruba language lessons. And I mentioned that to a friend who came in from the US recently, and he was so happy to hear that, because he said that he has his kids learning virtually from somebody in Nigeria, teaching his kids Yoruba, and he's paying, he's paying so much just to learn that. So he was glad to hear that we were doing that. So that's the testimony that it's something in the right direction. The other things that I was going to mention quickly, we created a new directorate for gender development, because we know that it's an important topic that doesn't get enough attention in the structure of things. We don't want it to be a one-off thing you mentioned. So we created a directorate for it, because the boy child and the girl child, over time, as they grow older, they face different types of challenges. So you want to create types of training programs that can help to address the various challenges at various stages of life. And we have a research directorate. So we want to be able to do research that can also help in some of those areas.
So are you focusing on a particular gender now, or both?
No, it's both.
Okay.
Because they both have their challenges.
Okay.
The boy child has his, the girl child has hers.
What are the age?
It's across board, because from youth, I mean, those that get bullied right from school, and then as an adult, the pressures of getting married, getting a job, being self-sufficient, your duties to your country. There are various things to discuss and to reorientate our boys and our girls at various ages.
Because I asked that question because I know you're in collaboration with Lentor,
Yes.
who is focusing on just the boy child.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so we are in collaboration with different organizations. So Lentor is just one of them, and they are focusing on the boy child because they felt that there were several other organizations focusing on the girl child.
A lot.
So so our job is to partner with everybody and make sure that the more we are partnering with them, the better, the wider the impact, the more the number of people you're able to reach out to.
Okay, so PSSDC offers trainings. So how have you been able to keep a tab or measure the impact of your trainings over the years, especially for Lagos public servants?
Thank you very much. So that has been a continuous plan to be able to make sure that we have that tab on the number of public servants that are being trained and what they are being trained on. And over the last 30 years, we must have done over 500,000, because you've had different public servants in and out, and coming in for various different types of training. But, the important thing is not just the number, but the impact. And for us, the feedback that we get from the public servants themselves, from their colleagues, and from the organizations, we make sure that we get impact from those three sources. So the service delivery that is measured, you have the Office of Transformation, Creativity and Innovation that goes around to make sure that service delivery is measured regularly. So we're able to compare and contrast. An agency, the type of training we've done for them, professional courses and leadership, soft skill courses, be able to compare what kind of impact that has been able to do. So for example, we take maybe transport, for example. And transport sector, a lot is being done, for example, in transport sector. I mean, the intermodal transport system and all of that, the carriage system, the integrated transport system. And you are able to measure all that development and how much training has gone in at the back end in order for government to launch out those new initiatives and to sustain them. And that's why you have Lagos State at the forefront of so many initiatives that later on the federal government now adopts, or other states then adopt. It's not just a policy that government comes out to announce. It's also the back end, the training that has gone in place to make sure that the staff are ready to implement the quality of the quality that the government wants to be able to achieve in their projects.
I want to know something that you get your feedback. So I want to know, how do you get them? What are the platforms?
Yes, I mean, there are various platforms. So, I mean, we have a professional HR, human resource management system in Lagos State. So, I mean, that has been in place over 10 years now. And we are able to use our staff performance appraisal forms. In the form, it's structured to be able to identify a staff's training needs, and then to also be able to identify the courses the staff has attended, and then the impact. And, the forms are being filled by the staff and by the supervisor. Okay, and the supervisors at various levels. So the immediate supervisor, and then the head of the department, the permanent secretary as well. They all sign off on those forms. Okay, so that helps you to not only gather information, but to verify and to have people cross-check to verify the authenticity of the information. And then there are departmental training officers in all agencies across the state. So they also sift this information, because when staff go for training, they have to do a report, and then they usually have to do a presentation to their colleagues. So it's either just to explain what they have learned, or to be able to cascade what they've learned to their other colleagues, depending on the type of training. That is why professionalism is at the forefront in Lagos State, because you continuously improve learning. It's a lifelong process of learning, and you reinforce it each time when you have those levels of engagement.
Okay, there is a new directive from the head of service, Mr. Bodiaguru, who said, who directed the center to come up with a 3-month induction process, which will kick off in 2025. I'd like you to speak to this and explain, how this is going to work out.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you you mentioned that, because we so in induction training is a major part of what we do in PSSDC. Another part that I would mention, I will speak about later, is the program we have for local government development. But back to your question. So induction training is a major part, because for us in Lagos State government, the quality of staff is very important. And you know that when you're recruiting, there are various ways or manners of recruitment, and that process may not necessarily ensure that everybody that comes in is already equipped with the necessary knowledge and skill.
Yes,
So our job is to make sure that those who have gone through the recruitment process actually go through an induction stroke or orientation program. Now, before it used to be just a 2 weeks thing, but we have realized that it's not comprehensive enough. It's not deep enough. And before we used to do that because, I think costs and all that. But we can't sacrifice costs in the place of the quality assurance. So what the head of service has requested now is that we want to make sure that when staff come in, they get the training that they need for like a 3 months minimum period. Now,
before they start,
before they go into offices,
system.
before they get, so that by the time you're going to the system, you already have the complete knowledge of the rules and regulations of the civil service, our ethos, our values, and the type of professionalism that's expected of you on that seat. And those are really important things for us in Lagos State. If you look at other professions, you realize that when lawyers finish school, they still go to a year of law school. Doctors will finish, they still go for their residency. If you are in a bank, you still go to the bank's school of training and do like maybe 6 months. So it is important for us in Lagos State to ensure professionalism by putting this in place. So 2025 is a bright year for us. We're looking forward to those new things that we'll be able to do come 2025.
You can also talk about the local government development.
Thank you very much. So local government development, we've been dealing with that for a long time. And we are glad that now there's more opportunity for local government to develop themselves, and with the new the new policies of government at the federal level. But what we've been doing over the years is to make sure that we help local governments in Lagos State and the LCDAs, to build their capacity. So we have always known in Lagos State, Lagos State is the center of excellence, and we know that here it's a melting pot of so many cultures. So we are aware that at local government level, we have tourists, we have people coming into Lagos all the time. And the people at local government level are the first line of contact, really, for visitors and so on. So it's important that people at that level, staff at that level, have the requisite knowledge and skills and capacity to be able to provide the services that would help to generate development, and put and sustain, the tourism attractions in Lagos State. And towards that effect, Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, had established departments in each local government, tourism departments, and that was a very major step to make sure that there's a structure in place.
Tourism department in local government.
Yes, they have.
Okay.
They have that unit.
Okay.
set up. So that helps to put in structure, you know, the that they can now build upon staffing and sustainability of policies over time. You know, they'll be able to have staff, they'll be able to train them, and then they'll be able to be skilled and become professionals in providing the kind of service delivery for people who visit Lagos. So we have that training program for staff to get to be able to eventually do degree programs. And we've been working with LASU, Lagos State University, to be able to provide that special arrangement. And now with our head of service, Mr. Labode Agoro, is now helping to make sure that we extend that a bit further. And I think it's one of the things that Mr. Governor hopefully will be able to announce very soon, that the special program that we are trying to do with local government staff will be able to be deeper and be more rewarding for local government staff.
Okay, I'm just curious about this trainings, and you know, how does PSSDC, you know, come up with the curriculum?
Thank you very much. So currently, our 2024 brochure has 100 courses, and those 100 courses were chosen through a very extensive engagements with public servants and with experts in the training profession. So what we do, like I mentioned earlier, that we have training, departmental training officers in each of the agencies. Now, what they do is be able to sift the needs from the staff and be able to communicate that back to us. And from our own end, we're able to make sure that the global best practices out there are also identified. And then we're able to marry the global best practices with the needs that are identified of the staff, and thereby be able to create courses that training programs, workshops that actually fit the needs of the staff, as well as the future needs.
Can I use the LTV as an example?
Correct.
Okay.
Please do.
How do you now come up with a curriculum for LTV? Is it through the Ministry of Information, or you come straight to the agency, come straight to LTV to find out the needs of the staff?
Both ways. Now,
Okay.
I have direct contact with your GM, for example, and you know, we have people that we know in the system. So we have a formal engagement at your agency level, but we also have a formal engagement at the ministry level, and then we have private sector trainers that also have a global best practice understanding. So we're able to marry all that together. And then, of course, it's subject to funding. So when you have a potpourri of different courses or training programs, then you're able to now map out which ones you're able to start with now, which ones you want to introduce next year, and then you try and get funding from government, you know, and all of that.
Okay.
We are hoping that by the time we're able to create those revenue-generating projects in our premises, we won't be having to go back to government all the time for the funding.
Okay.
We'll have enough to be able to support the funding, because we don't charge you for the training. You come for it free.
Okay.
So government gives us money for that. And we want to use the opportunity to reach out to international organizations, NGOs, and those who have interest, who are stakeholders in the continued excellence of our dear state, to support the training programs that Lagos State government does. We are open to partnership. We welcome a lot of collaboration, and even our very dear Lagosians, even in the diaspora. We would love them to be able to be more involved and engaged in what we do here in PSSDC in terms of training and capacity building. We are definitely open to the collaborations and we look forward to it.
Okay, as you celebrate 30 years, how is PSSDC positioning itself for the next decade? What are the key priorities to ensure productivity, especially for Lagos State public servants?
Yes, so we've since I became head of the center last year, January, we've tried to do a number of things. One of the major things, first things that I did was to get internet connectivity into the space. So we had to get our do an underground fiber cable right from the Secretariat, from the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology.
So you're telling me that once we get in there,
right underground. We did all the way across the expressway into Magodo underground, all the way to our premises. And that was to make sure that we have reliable and fast internet service in a sustainable way. So it won't be something that we're paying, you know. So that was a one-off thing, and we got that done. And I want to really thank Mr. Governor for approving that, and for Ministry of Science and Technology for giving us all the support in that regard. So the campus has reliable power, internet access. And now we are just trying to spread it across all the buildings inside the premises. Some buildings have been wired now, some are not yet, but it's funding. Okay, so it's a work in progress. But the future is looking very bright for us in that regard. Okay, and the other things that we did, like I mentioned earlier, the LMS, the EcoLearn, the virtual learning platform, our digital studio that we built there, the computer-based testing facility that we built there. Then we are also strengthening our research directorate. We have 20 new staff that we just got from the education sector. And we got them selected out of like 1,000 that applied that wanted to come to PSSDC.
That will be your trainers.
And so out of the 1,000, we selected the best 20. So you can imagine how multi-talented those 20 are. So we have been lucky to have those 20 to join us in PSSDC. And they are going to form the next generation. You know, we're already preparing, you know, to have the next generation of excellent trainers and facilitators and consultants in PSSDC. We have had generals, veterans in training, in expert consultants over the years. In fact, I remember that some of our permanent secretaries today come into the premises and they recall with such joy the foundation that was laid in them from the training that they got from some of our staff that are still there today. The training they got from them 25 years ago. They still remember some of those words that were embedded in them, you know, in those days. And they say that all that training is what has helped them, you know, throughout the years to make them who they are today. So we have those veterans, but some of them are already leaving the system. So our succession plan is in place. We have this young, vibrant, intelligent gentlemen and ladies who are already beginning to fill those shoes and already going through the trainer process to be certified consultants. So we are ready for Lagos State.
Okay, congratulations at 30, PSSDC at 30. Aside the launching or inauguration of projects, what else are we looking forward to on that day?
Well, we are going to be talking about some of the future plans that we have for PSSDC.
No pomp and pageantry, no music, no that.
Oh, pump and
My
pageantry.
colleague is saying something. Abibola, what did you say?
What did your colleague say?
Exactly.
Oh,
No
my
food,
goodness.
no music,
Oh,
no dancing.
no. Oh, no. Okay. That
No
goes-
party. Thank you. And you know, I'm always in for party.
that goes without saying. Come on, that goes without saying. We are Lagosians.
Exactly.
We work hard and we play hard.
Play hard.
Yes. So we'll have a lovely anniversary cake that we'll be cutting, and
Cake niko.
we have a DJ,
Okay.
and then we'll have excellent cuisine.
Fantastic. That's what
Excellent
I've been waiting.
cuisine.
I've been waiting for that.
So I don't want to put that first because we're a training institution. It's you know. So you're coming.
It's a training institution, and you're celebrating a milestone.
Yes.
30 years.
Yes. And there are many ways to celebrate.
There's no celebration without item 7.
Anyway, so yes, there'll be item 7.
Yeah.
But we want you to come and have an experience when you get to the premises. First and foremost, come and experience the ambience of the serenity in the premises. You come in there, you breathe a different type of air, and you don't want to leave. Oh, we have a guest house.
Okay.
So our guest house also makes it easier for us to keep you in the premises for much longer, you know. And we are planning to extend the facilities in the guest house so that we can accommodate more people, especially with these new facilities that we are now providing. So we are going to be increasing that capacity. But, you know, the idea is for you to come to PSSDC, do your training, or come and hire the facilities that we have. Come with your family. They can be in the guest house while you're doing that. We are trying to put in place now an arrangement with the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, so that different tourist packages can be put in place for people who are coming to PSSDC for one activity or the other and want to take advantage of the tourism
Like side
package,
attractions.
side attraction. So while you are in our premises doing one thing or the other, your family could decide to go on a tour of Lagos or a particular local government in Lagos, and they will come and pick you up from PSSDC and take you and bring you back there. We're also hoping that we'll be able to make arrangements so that we can even pick people from the airport to bring you to PSSDC, you know.
Straight.
And when they bring you in, of course, they'll be bringing you in style and comfort,
Fizzy.
you know, and then security too, and then they'll be able to take you around Lagos, you know, in style and comfort,
Style
with
and
security
comfort.
too,
Okay.
and all that while you are getting all your job done
Okay.
in the premises of PSSDC.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With all that, we can see that, you know, the PSSDC is not only investing in the growth of public servants, but also in the future of Lagos State as a whole. Adekunmilola Adio Moses, Director General Public Service Staff Development Center, talking about PSSDC at 30. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll go on a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues.